Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
BoxingVoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the
body punching? When I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him actually, he was crying in there.
You were saying that Biggs was crying when you hit him?
Yes.
When did that happen?
And perhaps the fourth round on.
BoxingVoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time.
Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and he was taking those punches.
DEAS Productions.
Making women gestures like, oh.
Let's go, champ. It's the champ.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Today, we're bringing you the live conference call from Deontay Wilder, and he'll be discussing his close split decision draw and everything about that moving forward. I guess we're going to get some future news and plans. So we're going to go ahead and introduce everybody while we wait for this conference call to start.
People want their subjective preferences to be the objective reality.
Where did the kids ever get to read and to hear and to see about the greatness of these people, these fighters?
It's like the Yankees, for example, in baseball, very good at trading on their past. The Celtics do it in basketball very well, and that's something boxing, because boxing has the richest history of all. It's something we should really be trading on, I think.
BoxingVoice.com.
Appreciate everyone coming back into another episode of the Boxing Voice. So right now we're gonna do the WBC Heavyweight World Champion Deontay Wilder, and he will participate in his international media conference call and discuss his split decision draw against the current Lineal Heavyweight Championship in the draw in Tyson Fury on Saturday night on pay-per-view at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. So we're going to go sit here. We're going to get all the big wigs, some of the media guys to come and ask some questions. You guys are going to be exclusive here at the Boxing Voice and be able to tune in and see what it's like as well. Hear what the champion has to say about his fight.
Him 50 million. Whether people thought it was real or not, motherfucker, we ain't playing. Who got time to play? I'm ready to whoop ass and get this money. You feel me?
BoxingVoice.com. 2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss. 2 to stand over.
Turn up.
Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
And I'm in.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yiggity, yo, what's going on, man? Back here with another one. Deontay Wilder media call. Maybe he give the fans some answers and make some clarity on the situation that took place and give his thoughts on the fight. So looking forward to it. Then it's the news that Eddie Hearn was in LA today. So maybe somebody will ask him a question about Eddie Hearn and AJ and the recent post that AJ just posted. So yeah, looking forward to this media call and the different media outlets that are going to be on this call. So let's get down to it. Let's get into it. And hey, what's going on, everybody?
So the people we're going to have, I believe that's going to be there. It's going to be Deontay Wilder, of course, DEAS, one of Deontay Wilder's trainer, DiBella, the president of DiBella Entertainment, as well as SHELLY FINKEL, Deontay Wilder's co-manager. So that's going to be the lineup to discuss on this media conference.
So I'm going to go ahead and get to some callers while we're here for the media conference call. We'll just start things off early.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to Marcus. Talk to us, DC. Marcus. And he's busy. Going out to Canada's own.
Pop
Popping all this champagne, popping all this rose, getting money like Jose. Chain cold, Norway. Shorty wants that foreplay. I'm like, no way. Gotta rock it like cold.
Hello, everybody. You know what? It's perfect that I get to call in right before the conference call, man. You know what? I've been seeing everywhere, man, that Deontay Wilder didn't deserve the victory, didn't even deserve the draw. You know, Tyson Fury won by a landslide. This is what I want everyone.
Jose, hate to interrupt, but we're ready. Hate to interrupt. We'll come back to you.
Great heavyweight bouts of old, particularly heavyweight bouts involving an American heavyweight champion in a dramatic fight. Saturday night, we got the best of both men in some ways. There's improvement in other ways for the future. But we got brilliant boxing from Tyson Fury. We got the ferocious punching of Deontay Wilder. We had rounds that were close where you know, there was elusiveness and defense dominating, and we had rounds with devastating knockouts. And then we had a man rise from the dead in the 12th and final round. We had controversy, passion, but right now, this fight and heavyweight boxing and the boxing world are the talk of water coolers all over America. And the fervor and the excitement and the debates after Saturday are still going on, and that's a great thing for boxing and for heavyweight boxing. And it's my pleasure to introduce a man who without his efforts, this fight wouldn't have happened. Stephen Espinoza, the president of Showtime Sports, has supported Deontay throughout his whole career, has been involved in the marketing and PR behind Deontay now for years. It's finally paid off huge dividends. He's also responsible for, you know, bringing Tyson Fury into the Showtime fold, and for making this sensational heavyweight match. And also, I want to acknowledge the guy who's not on the call, the man who runs the PBC, Al Heyman, for his efforts. Stephen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Great. Thanks, Lou. And thanks for your efforts as well. You were obviously instrumental in not just Deontay's recent career, but in this fight in particular. You know, this fight was called, was given every superlative in the book after Saturday night. Many of you will recognize your own work. We've heard it described as one of the most compelling matchups in the Glamour division's recent history. What boxing has needed for so long, and of course the embodiment of what once made heavyweight championship boxing most gripping of all U.S. sporting events. So it was indeed a throwback to some of the Glamour years. The good thing is that we have two prime heavyweights in their prime who, ironically, are both still undefeated. There is a good deal of debate still about that. We will probably engender more debate as we re-air the fight this Saturday on Showtime, 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. And of course, it will be accompanied by one of Showtime Sports' signature shows, All Access, which provides an entirely different perspective on fight week, fight day, and fight night, including behind the scenes during the fight, as well as really incredible cinematography of the fight itself. Again, that's the replay this Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific, followed immediately by All Access Epilogue. Lou?
Thank you, Stephen. Deontay right now is in the midst of a press media day and was just on a final interview and will be joining us any minute. I'm on, Lou. Oh, the champ is on. Well, then I could do a proper introduction. The hardest punching man on the planet, the baddest guy on the planet. I don't think that has changed. Nothing has changed, and he walked away and still the champion. But
among all the guys I've ever worked with, no one's more real and no one's more honest than Deontay Wilder. And first thing he said to me when I walked in the ring was, "Man, I tried too hard for knockout. I threw too many single punches. I probably gave some rounds away. I wasn't, myself." But at the same time, he knocked the man down twice. And the second knockdown, I don't know another fighter that would have gotten up from that, nor do I know another referee. And by the way, I think he is a great referee, Jack Reese. But I know virtually no referee that wouldn't have waved that fight off. Not that Jack didn't do the right thing, because when he popped up like the Undertaker and rose from the dead, he was able to continue. But the heavyweight division is in incredible hands. There are 3 men at the top of the division, but there are only 2 men who put it all on the line and gave us Saturday night. And those 2 men are the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder, and the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. And I'm very proud to introduce the heavyweight champion of the world, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, and my friend, Deontay Wilder. Deontay?
Thank you. Hey, I'm here. Hey, guys. Thank you guys for coming on. Saturday was an amazing fight. It was better than what I expected it would be. Being here in America and the heavyweight division being down for so long, and I'm fighting so hard to bring the attention back to American boxing. They say once the heavyweight division falls, so does the sport of boxing. And I believe in having a strong American fighter to keep the division lit, to keep boxing exciting. That was my ultimate goal is to bring the heavyweight division back here in America. To see the turnout, it was amazing to have the attention. It was definitely overwhelming for me. And to go in the arena, man, it almost felt like pressure for me, to see so much. And we have the world attention. This is the moment I've been waiting on. This is the moment that I've been looking for to have the American audience, to have the attention draw right here, right now on this very occasion. And I had that. It was a very emotional situation for me. And I definitely got over anxious to knock Tyson Fury out. I said I would do it, and I got very anxious to see the response and know I had the world attention like that. I didn't know what to expect. This is my first time pay-per-view. I know I had a lot of stuff going on and stuff like that, and this was the moment. And it got the best of me, the moment of it, being so anxious when I knew what I had to do. The fight was easier than what it seemed. I've seen when he was ducking me, overthrowing my punches. I've seen that so many times. I've knocked guys out so many times on that very move that he was doing. But my anxiousness, me being anxious, it got the best of me. Me being wanting to knock him out to end this show, this event, this wonderful event that it started out. I wanted to end it on a great note. I wanted to end it in a devastating knockout, and I pressed that. I pressed that too much for myself. I think I applied more pressure on myself than anything, and it allowed me to get out of character. It allowed me to just abandon the game plan, and you see what happened. It's crazy that I was going back to my corner thinking to myself, why is you overshooting the right hand? You know what you can do. He's bending over, step back, throw the uppercut, step back, lead with the jab, and come straight with the right hand. And every time I would do the same thing over when I knew what I had to do over and over again. I think I was fighting against Fury, and I was fighting against myself. Having just been here in America, trying to bring it back. It was a lot of emotions going through me. You're looking at a guy that weighed in at 212, and then when I got dressed in the back of the room, came in with the official win with the people that weighed me, I came in at 209. I couldn't believe my weight dropped even more, after I weighed in. That kind of bothered me as well too. Although I'm not the type of guy. I've always said that, I'd rather be the part than look the part. Weight is, it's just something that's looking the part, and I don't care about that so much because I know I have the power. I don't have big man power. Some guys, Fury have big man power. He don't have punching power. He have big man power. I don't have the big man power, but I do have punching power. And I know that right there exceeds all expectations of me. That right there put me at the top over everything, because no matter with me, I'm a dangerous fighter. You got to be cautious of me from the first, the 1 second of the 12th round. And that's what's so unique about me. That's what makes me so special. You know, up in this sport, I have so much ability and talent in this sport. I can beat, all my guys have outweighed me. Fury came in as 260, so I gave up over 50-some plus of weight in that fight, and still, you know, and still was able to put him on the floor like I did. You know, it's man. But the amazing thing about this whole event is that it's talked about around the world. Everyone is talking about this fight as if it's haven't even happened yet. It's about to happen again. Everyone around the world talking about. You got one side going for him, you got one side going for me, and then you got one side that's all in the middle. Some people feel like it was a draw. When you have a controversial conversation around the world, and people talk, it was the number one trending, and probably still is. It was the number one trending event that was going on around the world, and it was amazing. Bring boxing back, to bring the heavyweight division, you know, to put it on notice in America means everything to me. You know, I got my opportunity. I got the experience that I've been looking for so long, just to see what, you know, pay-per-view. I never thought about being a pay-per-view fighter. I never thought too deep into being a pay-per-view fighter. I always talk about bringing the heavyweight division back to America. You always hear about the golden era, the golden times, when it was like this or when it was like that. And you just get tired of hearing about those times. And you want to, when you're the person in the sport and you're the athlete, you're the fighter that's doing it, you want to bring that back. You want people to talk about our era. You want them to be excited about his era. You know, in the past is in the past. We can make it better right now. And that's what I wanted to do. And I had a taste of that. You know, being on pay-per-view, having to go through so many other things, just the excitement to finally get that, man, it was amazing. It was an amazing feeling. And I'm willing and ready to give Fury the opportunity ASAP. You know, if you have so many different sides, that it's only right to give Fury a rematch as soon as possible. I'm ready whenever he's ready to do it. I'm ready to give the fans what they want to see. And in this talk once and for all. I feel that I don't know how this man got up. He don't even know how he got up. But I feel that he had an army of prayers around him. And I feel like God got this man up for the rematch. For me, I feel like it's a lose-lose situation for me. People already made an excuse about Fury, you know, not being in the ring. He took time off. He's not going to be ready. Wilder's going to knock him out early. They already had the excuse. Those same people, now that he survived, it's the same one that's saying he went. But y'all doubted that. You doubted him. You said he wasn't ready. So if I would have knocked him out early, then that would have been the excuse. But being that the fact that he survived and he went on, people are jumping on his ship now, jumping board. You know, this is a very emotional sport. So being the fact that that I didn't do that, you know, I'm still losing. Oh, you didn't win. You know, I'm still, it's a lose-lose situation. Anything that I do, I feel. But God allowed this man to get back up for the rematch. So when the rematch happens, there's no excuses. There's no excuse. We see what he could do, what he was able to do, especially with that get up. That still surprised me I've seen this guy's eyes roll slowly in the back of his head. And many people felt that should have been waved out. I knew if we was 9 out of 10 rounds would have waved that off. I've seen many times where they waved that off. Look at my brother Malik Scott when he fought Derek Story. He was on his knees at 9 and stood up at 10. They waved it off immediately. I felt like the count was very slow. You know, I feel like it was a lot of delays in that, but I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain because we put the heavyweight division on notice, and we did it with me and Fury. It's not about no other guys or nothing like that. Me and Fury did it like true champions. We came together, we conversated amongst each other, and we got this fight done without involving all the other extra stuff. Because we are the best in the division. We want to prove to each other who is the best. The heavyweight, who is the best in the heavyweight division. We came together and did that, and it was amazing. And I'm ready to do it again.
Okay, great. Let's open it for questions, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you would like to phone keypad. And we're waiting for callers to join the queue. Our first question will be coming from Mark Ortega with Sporting News. Please go ahead.
Hey, Deontay, congrats on an amazing fight. My first question is, had you beaten Tyson Fury in 3 or 4 rounds and knocked him out, a lot of people would have just said, oh, this isn't the Tyson Fury that fought Klitschko. With the result being a draw aside, do you feel like this was the best possible scenario where it sets up a rematch that should you beat Tyson Fury, you'll get full credit for that win rather than having beat a guy that wasn't himself?
That's exactly how I feel. Like I said before, I was in a lose-lose situation. I'm always in a lose-lose situation because people have always made excuses of my victories, ever since the start of my career. Every fight I've made, they made excuses from the beginning, So with this being said, they made excuses for him in the beginning. So it was like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. And being the fact that he did survive, I think this makes it better for the rematch. I think it makes it. There's no excuses to be said at this point in time for the rematch. I think it's even playing grounds, and when I do knock him out the second time, then I want my full credit. I just want my full credit. I want the heavyweight division in America to be on notice that y'all have the baddest man on the planet here, and the heavyweight division is exciting. It's back again, and that's all I ever want. I'm not hard. I'm not a hard heavyweight to deal with. I love people. I get along with everyone. People only see the perspective of me in the ring and in press conferences and on social media because I have to be aggressive. I have to speak my piece. I'm never the one that not keeping it real. I keep it real with everyone, as I want you to keep it real with me. I'm the realest champion in the business. I keep it real. I say the realest stuff, and I just want everyone to give me my full credit because it's not going to be no excuses to pull out of the box no more. He did what he did. He survived. He woke up from hell, and now I'm willing to put him back in here.
Our next question will be coming from Lance Hugmeyer with the Los Angeles Times. Please go ahead.
Hi, Deontay. I just wanted to ask you, from your perspective, where does this leave Joshua? Because while you've got this, very entertaining series going on with Fury now, and Joshua, even though he's got the 3 belts, he's talking about fighting guys like White and Big Baby Miller. It really seems like almost like, nondescript compared to the battles you're in. How do you feel about, just the placement of Joshua now based on this outcome?
I don't feel nothing. I haven't even thought about Joshua them. They're getting what they deserve. They felt like they was the only people in boxing in the heavyweight division that people cared about. They felt like they was the only one that was running this sport. Well, we had to show them that they're not the only ones. This is a family. This is a group of guys together making this thing happen, not just one individual person. So me and Fury came together. We had to show the world what it looks like for the best to fight the best, and look at the outcome. No one has talked about Joshua since I don't know how long, and we planning on keeping it that way to show them. Ain't no need of them coming out now talking about nothing. We ain't hearing that. They had their opportunity. They had 4 months to have their opportunity, but they led people on. They said certain things, and it could have been me and Joshua the one that had the excitement going on. It could have been him. He could have had many guys. He could have had Luis Ortiz. He could have had Tyson Fury. He could have had me. But their ego got the best of them, you know. So let them continue to fight the second tier fighters, and hopefully one knock him out. You know, who knows? But we don't care about them no more. My main goal is on Tyson Fury. I'm looking forward to being in the rematch as soon as possible. And that's that. This is the biggest fight still in the heavyweight division. This is the most exciting fight in the heavyweight division, and I'm ready to get the fans what they want to see.
Our next question will be coming from Dan Raphael.
Thank you very much. Hello, Dan. Can you hear me, Deontay?
Yeah, I can hear you. You had say it again. Go ahead again. You was breaking up a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that. My first of all, congratulations on a heck of a fight. But my question for you is, now that it's a couple of days past the fight, have you had the opportunity to go back and watch the fight? And if so, how did you score it? Because there's so many people out there that are vociferously saying that they believe that Tyson Fury won. I've been in the minority. I had the fight scored for you, but I want to know how you scored the fight.
I haven't personally gone back and seen the fight, but I had many people to go back and see the fight, and they got their perspective of the fight. And many people like I said, I'm here. Many people, you know, say I won. Many people say he won, and many people really felt like it was a draw. So I'm getting all versions of the fight. I knew I was the more aggressive fighter in there, and I know I landed the more effective punches. You know, he was landing some punches, but most of them was pity pat punches. You know, that didn't affect me. To be a smaller guy, giving up 50 some pounds. You know, I feel when you coming in here fighting the champion, you got to be the more dominant fighter. You got to take the title. And I don't feel Fury took the title. He had a great performance. You know, that night he didn't have no pressure on him. You know, he's a visitor to this country. You know, they got excitement in their country. Their people support boxing. You know, so it didn't matter to him whether it was one person in the audience, but it mattered to me. I cared about that, and I felt like I won. I felt like I won that fight totally. You know,
I agree. I would agree with you about that, but. Now there's been a lot of talk from yourself and also from Tyson Fury, the fans, and us media people about there being a rematch. I know it's something that you both have said you would like to have. My question for you is, you know, even though this fight was just a couple of days ago, how quickly do you think that a rematch can happen? And at what point do you think that the two sides will actually engage in a serious conversation to try to make it?
I think both sides definitely seriously want it to happen. I don't see why wouldn't we. You know, it was a great fight. And the build-up is already starting right now. You know, we can't get away from this fight. You know, the excitement, everyone is talking about this fight. You just can't. It's only right for us to go back in and do it again. And I don't want no other fights to happen between him or I. He don't have to worry about me moving past him, fighting anyone. And I hope he don't have to go to fight no one else. I want to get Tyson Fury the rematch ASAP. Some people feel like I don't want no rematch. Why wouldn't I not? I'm the baddest man on the planet. I don't know no one coming in fighting a killer after a killer and trying to go back in. I fought Luis Ortiz where people avoided. Nobody still to this day want to fight him that's at the top. I come back and fight Tyson Fury, an undefeated fighter, a lineal champion that beat Klitschko. And come back and do that after, you know, being the boogeyman of the division. Now I'm willing to come back again. I'm not running nowhere. I'm excited. I'm more excited and motivated than anything. I had the taste of the pay-per-view. I loved it. Now I'm ready. I'm ready to do it again. And whenever he's ready, I'm ready. I hope he's, you know, early next year. I'm ready to go. Maybe March, maybe April. I'm ready to go. I don't want no one else but Tyson Fury. He deserved the rematch. It's such a highly anticipated and talked about fight. I think the fans deserve a rematch to settle this score once and for all. I really felt God lifted this man up off that campus for the rematch.
Thank you for that, Deontay. Steven, are you there? Steven Espinoza? Yeah, I'm here. Stephen, could you, you hear Deontay's comments about wanting to do a rematch as soon as possible. You mentioned a couple of possible months in there. Obviously, with your company is going to have a lot of say-so in terms of the timing, just given the schedule of pay-per-views. When could you envision this actually taking place if the two sides are able to come to an agreement?
Well, I mean, for us, the overriding priority really is the health of the fighters. And that was a tough fight. So we're not going to rush anything in to fit into a specific timetable. Both of those guys earned a long rest. But you can hear in Deontay's voice, that rest is going to be not too long. So if they said, May would be great, June would be great. If it's, later after that, I personally, April sounds a little quick to me, but if both of the guys feel like that gives them an opportunity to recover and go into it. But this is the kind of fight we don't really need to schedule it around anything else. We saw this past weekend the type of energy and attention a big-time heavyweight fight between two undefeated champions in their prime will draw. So I'm not really worried about times of the year and competitive programs, things like this. This is a fight that is strong enough to overcome all of that, so it will happen at its natural time.
Okay, just real quick then, Stephen, do you have any indication of what the pay-per-view is, how successful this was in terms of the commercial viability of a rematch?
Normally I would. The satellite numbers, which are the first to come in, have been a little bit delayed. I've been promised, after I've been calling every 15 minutes, I've been promised that by close of business, West Coast time today, I will have initial projections, which means we'll probably have a good sense of things, by tomorrow.
If I could just interject for 1 second, Dan. The pay-per-view numbers are going to come in. Obviously, we want to see them do as well as they possibly can. When you look at across all social media and what's been trending, not only in sports, but in general since Saturday, this event is through the roof. It's like off the charts. And, I think it's whatever's going to come in for this fight's going to come in. But the next time these two men get into the ring on pay-per-view, it's an exponentially bigger fight, because this is a fight that literally has captured the attention of the entire world. So it's probably a little bit less relevant than it otherwise might have been, what these numbers look like.
All right, got it, guys. Thank you very much for the time. Appreciate it. Look forward to the rematch.
Thank you. One thing also, before I neglected to do this in my opening comments, but I want to acknowledge TGB Promotions, Tom Brown, and Brittany Goosen Brown. I want to thank them for the tremendous job they did. They handled virtually all the logistics for this event and promoted it locally. And they're obviously, the Goosens are a California institution, and the Browns. And thank you for your great work. Next question.
Our next question will be coming from Mike Coppinger with The Ring. Please go ahead.
Hey, Deontay. A few of us attended Tyson Fury's news conference again on Sunday morning in LA, and he was adamant that he wanted people to respect you in America and that he wants you to be a star, and he doesn't see any reason why you shouldn't be, and he had so much respect for you. Do you think this fight, with all the buzz now, is going to help you cross over?
I mean, I think so. I think it should. Like Luke said, everyone in the world is talking about this fight. Even homeless people are talking about this fight. And that's amazing. That's amazing, and that just lets you know the attention that it stirred up. And people were very, excited about this fight from the start when it was announced, and to come to the event and just see the event in general, it was amazing. Just from the start to the finish was an amazing fight, and to have a rematch is gonna blow. It's gonna take it over top, because everybody wondering what's gonna happen in the second fight. Like I said, they got him winning, they got me winning, and some got it a draw. This is gonna answer everyone's question. Everyone's gonna tune into this, so it's gonna be an even bigger event. So it should do just that. And when it does, I'm gonna be excited because I want heavyweight division to win. I want American boxing to win. It should be on notice. And I feel like I've always was the one that had to carry that weight on my back, you know, to bring the heavyweight division back to America so people can have something to talk about, so they can have something to be excited about. I mean, we risk our lives in the ring. And may God be with Adonis Stevenson's family and his time during these difficult times. And this is what I'm talking about. We risk our life in the ring, man. We deserve to have all the praises and glory because this is a tough sport to be in. This is one of the toughest sports to be in. Ain't nobody running to try to be a fighter because it's a tough sport to be in, and we risk our lives. We can get hit one time, and that can be it. That can be it. So it demands respect. And I just want that for American fighters all over, whether these fighters love me or hate me, because there's a lot of fighters that don't want to see me make it. There's a lot of fighters that don't like to see what I'm doing. I don't care about being the face of boxing. I want to share it with you guys. I want to share it with all the fighters. I don't want to be the single fighter because we all risk our lives. There's a lot of fighters out here that just want to be them, and it's all about them, but they're going to have a reality check because a heavyweight division is back. It's back, and I can't wait to make it even more exciting.
And Mike, to add to that, it's even like I think that narrative is over now, or it should be over now. The question about Deontay's stardom has been answered, and it's been answered in a dozen different ways. It was answered by the 17,000 people in attendance at Staples Center, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's the most they've had there for a fight since De La Hoya Mosley. That's been answered. You know, we did a Snapchat series, daily series, starting the Saturday before the fight. All week long, on a 24-hour basis, those Snapchat episodes were being viewed 4 to 5 million times a day. We've never had anything do that kind of activity in terms of the Snapchat series. So I can go on, and this is really about Deontay, but you know, we know where that narrative is coming from, and it's absolutely false. You know, this is not the UK. You know, boxing shares the American landscape with a whole host of professional and college sports that UK doesn't have, that UK boxing does not need to compete with. So, you know, whether or not everybody in Times Square recognizes Deontay is not the issue, because short of Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, that's not where boxing is in the United States, because it's a big country and a very diverse country with lots of different attractions on the sporting landscape. So really, in terms of the recognition, what all of that says is about what is the place of boxing as a sport within the U.S., not Deontay's place. But after Saturday, we know Deontay's place, and he's top of the heap. He's up there as one of the biggest draws in this sport right now. Although, again, that's not his goal. His goal is to elevate boxing as a sport in its entirety, which I believe he has done.
Yeah, and Deontay, you said before that there's a lot of fighters that want to see you fail. How cool is it to see the guy you just shared the ring with being your biggest champion?
Say that one more time, Mike.
You were saying that there's a lot of fighters that want to see you fail, but is it cool to see a guy you just shared the ring with, and Tyson Fury, being one of your champions, you know, praising you and asking people to support you?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. That was, you know, one thing about me and Tyson Fury, we got a relationship together, man, and it's a strong relationship. When you can get two guys to get in the ring, risk our lives in the ring, and then after, hug each other, tell each other we love each other, man. That's right there is the sportsmanship in the sport. That right there is the gentleman. You're showing that we're both gentlemen in and outside of the ring. We got a job to do. We have to get in there and survive and fight each other for our family. But at the end, when it's all said and done, me and Tyson Fury are fighters. We share the same passion. We share the same emotions in the ring, and that's to be the best. To be the best. And when you're trying to be the best, your emotions is gonna come out. You're gonna want to fight your heart out. You're gonna want to do whatever it takes to win. But in the end of it all, We can come together. We can whoop each other ass and come together in the end. And that's the special part about this sport. That's the unique part about this sport, that he can be from another country. I can be from America. And we can, at the end of the day, we give a great fight and we can come together. So, you know, I respect him for that. And I appreciate him for saying that and backing me up, because that's all I ever want. I don't want to be singled out. I don't want to be the single one in America, the single face. I never like to shine under the spotlight by myself, because it's so many other guys that want the same thing. They risk their lives, and I take it very seriously. That's why I always say we risk our lives, because we do just that. Over and time again, we see guys getting hurt. We see guys, like I said, look at my man Adonis. It's just sad, man. It's sad, and we don't have. Who knows what's going to happen to him? Who knows if he saved his money? This sport don't provide you retirement and have a governing body that provides for the family. You know, I know the WBC has a lot going on with their things, but there's only so much that you can do for the family. This is not like the professional sports we have in football, basketball, baseball, and all those different things. This is boxing. It's a whole totally different world. So I appreciate him for saying that, and I can't wait to get him the rematch. He deserves it.
And lastly, real quick, do you think Eddie Hearn and Joshua overplayed their hands? And, you know, what do you think they were thinking watching this great fight and seeing all the attention while they're on the sidelines?
Man, they was throwing up. They didn't want to see this fight do well. You know, he was already trying to downplay it. They don't want to see this fight. They didn't want to see this fight do well at all. They wanted to be the face. They want to be the global face of boxing, period. They don't want no one else to be equal to them or come past them. They want to be the main source that everyone goes to. Well, if he wants that to be, he must be, he has to be the undefeated, unified champion. One champion, one face, one name. And that's what I've been trying to do. If they want to be singled out, then he got to obtain all the belts and just, well, he got to leave no doubts. He got to leave no fighters left out. But they didn't try to do that. They thought they were better than everyone, and now they can look amongst everyone else, talk about everybody except him. You know, so you know, it's a great thing going on. I don't care what they do. They can continue to fight the people they fight. Hey, if he's making so much money, then continue doing what you're doing. Don't worry about coming out now. You was already in hiding. Now you want to come out in hiding because nobody's not talking about you guys no more? I don't even want to answer no more questions about him. It ain't about him no more. It's long gone. And when they finally come around, enough to talk about them. Enough to talk about. I'm excited about Fury. I'm ready for Fury 2. And I can't wait. The fans got something to look forward to. They got something to talk about now. And I'm happy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question will be coming from Bernard Fernandez with the Sweet Science. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I have two questions. First one is, I guess, for Steven and also for Deontay. Steven, you know, other fights, I'm thinking Money Mayweather and Conor McGregor, there was a lot of hype, a lot of insults that kind of created, you know, interest in that fight. There was some of that for this fight, before this fight. Now that these guys seem to respect each other so much, the lead into the second fight is not going to be the same. How does that alter the way that, you know, that this is hyped going in? Because they're not the same place that they were going into the first fight.
Well, what are you going first?
I mean, I'll give it a shot, Deontay, and then you can, you tell me you disagree. I think if you look closely at the initial press conference, in the last press conference, there was mutual admiration, mutual respect, but there was an underlying current of competitiveness and desire in both fighters. So I think one of the things that this demonstrated is you don't have to hate each other. You don't want to, have to literally cut the other person's heart out and say so to have a classic fight. You can respect your opponent and even maybe outside the ring like him and still put on one of the all-time fights of all time. So I think this one, like, I can kick my feet up, you know, from here on forward on this fight, because, you know, how do you sell this fight? I pick a round, you know, pick the 12th. You know, that's the best marketing possible. It's round 13. That's how you sell this fight. And I think it really doesn't matter what these guys say at this point, although, you know, knowing both of them, they're going to have plenty to say. And the one thing that they are going to disagree vehemently on is who won the first fight. So there will still be mutual respect. There will be, you know, in some instances, mutual affection for each other. But at the end of the day, each of these guys wants very, very badly to win this fight. And that is not lessened in any respect by the fact that they respect each other.
Well said. Well said. I agree with everything Stephen said. Well said. You know, me and Fury both love this sport, you know, and this sport is not all about hating each other. We don't have to hate each other to fight each other. You know, I think people get it misconstrued when we do press conferences and you see guys yelling, and maybe we'll put our hands on each other at times, but, you know, it's for the promotion of the fight, but that's also the emotions that comes out of us. And when it's time to perform on that night of the fight, we're going to get the fans what they want to see. We can put, you know, true champions know how to put things aside. You know, we put our emotions aside, how we feel about each other as men. But when we go in that ring, we have an obligation to fulfill. We have a promise to fulfill, because we promised these people that we would give our best, we would give our all, and that's what you don't have to question the best if they're gonna give it their all just because they got mutual respect. You're supposed a true champion know how to love a fighter and just still go in there and still go in there and fight a fighter. You know, my dad used to say all the time, "I whoop you because I love you." You know, and it's gonna be the same thing. We whoop each other because we love each other, and we do it for the love of this sport. That's what it's all based about. You know, so it ain't no doubt in my mind, nor would it be a doubt in Fury's mind, that when the second time come around, it's going to be a lot of intensity. It's going to be a lot to say still. It's going to be like probably the first promotion, although we're not going to have to do as much. But there's so many opinions, there's so many mixed emotions surrounded by the first fight, that is going to bring something out of us to be able to just prove a point. The second fight is all about proving the point. Who won the first fight? And that's enough said right there. That's enough right there to you know, to get you excited, to get you motivated as the fighter that's going to be performing on that night to see this. We're still going to work our ass off in the gym. We're still going to give y'all the best fight y'all ever seen. You think the first was something? Oh, my God. Can't wait for the second one. You know, it might be a trilogy if it go good as the first. But to hear it from me, you're going to get the best of Deontay Wilder. You ain't never seen me in a boring fight. And you're going to continue. As long as I'm a champion, you're going to continue to see me fight as a champion.
You know, one thing I want to jump on what Steven said a second ago, because I've been having a recurring thought in my head since Saturday night about the commercial for the next fight. You know, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. And when Deontay landed that shot in the 12th round, it was pretty much, I would think most people in the arena would agree, one of the more devastating shots you've seen landed. And a giant 6'9" man went down like a tree and slammed into the canvas and then popped up like the Undertaker. And then the look on Deontay's face in the ring at that moment looked like one of the scripted looks in a WWE WrestleMania match, because he just saw a guy get up and had no idea how that was possible. And that 20 seconds right there is 1 million buys in the next pay-per-view.
Amen. Amen, Lou. Way to say it, man.
Our next question will be coming from Keith Eidick with ThaBoxingvoice.com. Please go ahead.
Deontay, I know you don't want to make excuses or anything or sound like you're making excuses, but could you shed some more light on the arm injury that you suffered very early in your camp and the surgery that you had?
Oh, yeah, no problem. Out of my mouth. Yes, I suffered an injury. I broke my arm last week before starting my camp, and that whole camp, I barely threw any right hands. It was all left hooks and jabs. So, you know, my accuracy in the fight, it could have played. Me breaking my arm and being that I was reserving it for the fight could have played a part of my accuracy, along with being anxious to knock him out. You know, all that could have played a part. We're going back and we're going over certain things, and I hate bringing things up. That's why I don't make excuses before the fight. You know, and I like to reveal certain things because I want to say I've overcame, you know, adversity. You know, I do so much to my body that a lot of people don't know. I'm a warrior. I'm a true warrior. I'm a true king. I don't make excuses. But I think it's interesting to know that not only was I fighting a guy 50-some pounds heavier than I, but, you know, I had to overcome some things as well too. You know, a lot of stuff plays a part, you know. And, you know, I didn't want to say that to make no excuse or nothing. I take nothing away from the fight. I take nothing away from Tyson Fury. He did a wonderful job, you know, especially, you know, proving a lot of people wrong. You know, I didn't want people to have an excuse for him. You know, I wanted the best Tyson Fury, and we prepared for the best, and we got the best, and I'm happy for that. You know, but we did, you know, endure that injury. And that's that. You know, I don't know what more to say about it. There was an injury that occurred, and it could have played a big factor into me not, throwing the right hand properly. I know I was over excited and anxious to knock him out, like I said I would do. And that's that. We can only move forward, learn from this situation, and go forward. I just want to show the world how tough I am. I can do so many things, have a broke hand, have a torn bicep, even have third-degree burns, and still fight my heart out and give the best Deontay Wilder possible.
Deontay, I just want to make sure I have the time frame correctly here. It sounds like you had the surgery maybe early September. Does that sound right to you?
Something like that. Middle September. Some up in there, yeah. Some middle September, somewhere up in there.
Hey, this is Jay, Deontay's trainer. Yeah, the surgery was surgery was well before camp. It didn't require any kind of an overnight stay. It didn't require a cast or anything like that. It was basically in camp a precautionary measure not to overuse the right hand, so that Deontay would go into the fight, you know, as strong as possible with it. And so there was no. It was just the timing was probably the only issue. And like Deontay said, just being a little bit anxious and then the timing of it. But as the fight went on, he was finding the timing on the right hand as more and more as the fight went on, the timing was coming back. But that's what it was. He came in, he was ready to go and healthy. You always deal with things in camp anyway, so you're never going to come in 100%. But he came in and did some amazing things.
Jay, I just wanted to, could you specify when he says broken arm? I mean, that could mean many things. What specifically was it?
I don't know the medical term. It was only arm between the elbow and the wrist, and it could have been a thing where he could have not had the procedure and just kind of let it rest. But the doctor's advice was to go ahead and have the procedure and thought the healing would come along a lot faster. He said that basically after the procedure, Deontay will be able to do push-ups within like 2 or 3 days. It was that kind of a thing that's been done with football players. And so we opted to go ahead and have the procedure so that we could go ahead and know that it was going to be, well and healed a lot earlier in camp. And in camp, it was just 2 things. Number one, we wanted to focus on the left hand a lot anyway. And number 2, we just wanted to be careful with the right hand.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up, Jay. And Deontay, I just have one more question related to this. Did it bother, once you had the procedure, did it bother you at all in camp, and did it bother you in the fight at all?
By the time we we got deep into camp, it didn't affect me at all. You know, at the beginning of camp, it kind of, you know how you have surgery, it's tender. You know, you got to let it rest a little bit. You know, even when I was throwing my right hand, I would land on guys. I would feel the pressure from the impact of a guy's head. You know, anybody that knows anything about punching a guy in the face and feeling the structure of their bones in your hands, it's not a nice feeling. Even when you're healthy, even when your arm is healthy, it's not a nice feeling to feel that, because that don't supposed to occur anyway. So when you have, you know, when you break your arm like that and you're trying to heal, and you know you got a fight coming up, you want to use it. But we tried to be as careful as possible, and we laid back on it, on the right hand. But during the mid of camp, I was able to use it. Although in my mind I wanted to reserve it as well for this big fight. You know, I'm definitely was gonna fight, and I wanted to make sure it was definitely healed properly. So we took appropriate measures for this situation.
Thanks a lot, Deontay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that's actually going to be our last question. Deontay, if you want to make a closing statement, and Lou, if you want to make a closing statement after that.
I just want to thank Showtime for an amazing job which I've done, you know, for my career, giving me the opportunity to display my talent amongst the world. I appreciate you guys, and I love you guys forever. Love you, Stephen, forever, man. I want to thank Lou DiBella, you know, as well too. Always been there for me, man. You're a motivator. You know, he's always got me hyped in different fights just to promote me and show the world and tell the world that we have a true American heavyweight champion right here. I love working with you, Lou. I'm looking to work with you until the end of time. You know, I want to thank the LA Staples Center and the city of Los Angeles as well too for bringing this country boy to your town, you know, and claim me as your own. Be able to turn up for me and show me such a great time, to make me seal the moment to what it used to, something, at least a glimpse of what it used to look like back in the time when it was the golden era, as everyone says. I got the glimpse of it. The world is unnoticed. The world is tuned in and paying attention to the heavyweight division, especially in America now. Man, I'm grateful for that opportunity, and I just want to thank all my fans. I want to thank all fans of boxing for tuning in and supporting this fight. No matter what the numbers does for pay-per-view, I appreciate everyone. It means so much to me, and I can't wait for the return of Wilder Fury 2. This is what it's all about. Two fighters putting everything in one night to put our life on the line for you guys' entertainment and give the best performances possible and have an outcome where people can talk about it, not just for that night, but for every night, for the rest of their lives. They won't forget this moment. They'll always talk about this moment. They'll always remember the time when the heavyweight division came back on that night of that fight in Los Angeles, California. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm looking forward to the next one. So let's do it again, baby. Until then,
and just lastly,
follow that, Lou. Let me hear you follow that, Lou.
I can't follow a bomb squad, but I'm gonna just say that.
One more time, Lou. Last but not least, we got to thank Al Heyman as well too. That's my guy. I love you, Al. Even though he ain't on here, he listen to it. I love you as well too, man. We're gonna keep it pushing.
And on behalf of everybody involved with Deontay, it's an honor and a pleasure to work with a great champion like that. On behalf of Al Heyman, Jay.
Love you too, Shelly. Shelly as well too. Jay as well too. The whole song squad, baby.
On behalf of Shelly, on behalf of Showtime, on behalf of everybody. You know, there's debate here, there's some controversy here, but let's celebrate what just happened for what it was. A great fight and a great way to end 2018. And to everybody out there, a happy holiday season, a happy new year, and 2019 is going to be a great year for the heavyweight division and for boxing. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to go out to the callers. So remember to press 1 if you want to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. The number to call in is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. We're going straight to a drive-by mode, and we're going to get to everybody one by one.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to Marcus on blood. Marcus in DC, talk to me.
Yo, man, how can any BAM in the whole world love any boxing podcast better than TBV, man? It's unfucking believable, man, what y'all do. Content y'all bring us, man. Unfucking believable. Earlier I was on Skype. I couldn't get on to voice my opinion. I'll wait till we got more time on another show to say that, but I just want to give y'all a shout out for bringing us the best content, the best interviews, asking the best questions, the real questions, and I'll just need one other thing from that because I thought it was just me. I haven't been able to sign up to Mike's social media because I can't understand them. And Bob said, I'm going to need somebody else to answer that question. Like, I've been like looking at the Boxing Voice, like, do Mike need subtitles with his country ass underneath there? Shout out, man. Yo, man, y'all the best, man. Y'all already know it. I'm with y'all all the way to the end. Tell a friend. DC in the building, Boxing Voice for life. Get him!
Marcus, thanks for calling in. Troy in Baltimore, go.
Question for you. First, he said he was overshooting his right hand, then he said he broke his right hand. Which one is it? Either he was overshooting
both.
it, and meaning to
both.
overuse it,
both.
or his hand was broken.
Both. He
so
broke. They said they obviously said they obviously said.
How do you get cleared by a doctor though if you have a right hand? How do you get cleared by the doctor to fight if you have a broken right hand?
They obviously said he had surgery middle of September.
Right, I heard that. I heard all that, but again,
and they obviously
they
obviously asked the trainer, was it a broken hand? And he said, no, I don't know the medical term. So you're just calling in being a buffoon because you want.
No. I'm following the man's words. He said his right hand was broken.
You didn't follow the man's words because right away the trainer stepped in. But your job is to deflect. Your job is to deflect. Your job isn't to come on here.
Did he not say that his right hand was broken?
Yes, he
did. Did he not say his right hand was?
Yes, he did.
Thank you. How is it a deflect then if I'm asking a question that came out the man's mouth?
Because you heard the trainer step in, Troy. But
step in and say that he didn't know the term. All that says to me that he can't explain something, just like you can't explain it, so you call it deflect.
Okay.
Have a good night, Mike. Stop doing that nonsense.
You are deflecting because you don't want to talk about the fact that he wants an immediate rematch. He wants to clear the doubt in your mind. That's not what you'd rather talk about. You'd rather talk about a technicality over a pronunciation. Get your ass out of here. You sheep, man. I mean, let's talk boxing. Look at what you want to talk about. Sad. Reno, talk to me on Skype. Reno, going once. You there, brother? Reno. Yo, what up?
It's not Nez.
Here's his Nez. Yeah, I know your clock ticking, B. Oh man, he got a bad connection. We going out to Zulu. Talk to me.
Yo, what's up, TBV? What's going on, Ness?
What up?
Look, shout out to the champ. The champ did an excellent job in the fight. I still say he won the fight by knockout. You can say what you want to say. He is the champ. He's showing you the warrior spirit. He wants the immediate rematch. He's not even entertaining no other thoughts. That's the kind of champion you want, that could walk into a fight like that and say, I want to go back in that same situation. Even though I think he won, I'm okay with a draw because that's what it is. But he won that fight. If you go back and look at that fight, he won that fight. And I'll say 5-7. 5-7. 7-5. And so, once again, I applaud Deontay Wilder for doing what he's doing. Keep pushing, brother. We with you. We behind you. The American champ. That's what I got.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. We're going out to Brandon in Cincinnati. Talk to me. Drive by. Let's go.
Drive by. Yeah, man. He kind of figured what I thought he would do. It wanted to take the rematch with Fury. Like I said, not only was this fight for, popularity and a big name, but this was some bargaining chips for negotiating. And when he got that draw, and with most people figuring Fury won, he kind of lost all his bargaining chips. So he knows in order to get those, negotiations, bargaining chips back, he has to beat Fury. What I hope doesn't happen is that Eddie Hearn doesn't pull a snake move and offer free big money to whistle him away to fight Joshua and leave Wilder out there in the cold. Because if Joshua beats Fury before Deontay does, then like I said yesterday, man, he's gonna get a kicker.
Cut it. Jose in Canada, go drive by.
Yo, I'll be really quick, man. Just going to touch on these points. Don't let these so-called experts tell you guys what to watch in a fight. These are the same assholes that said Chocolatito was the best and baddest man on the planet, man. AJ, you're a fucking bum. You lost your opportunity. You know what? He doesn't do well at all in the States, man. Fury and Wilder's where the rematch is at. And Wilder, man, he's the man. He's already promoting his fight, and he's doing what all champions should do, man. Props to him. And to all you haters, fucking nuts.
Cut it. Joseph in Texas, go drive by.
Drive by.
Yo, I love what Wilder's doing. Wanted the immediate rematch. I hope Fury wants the immediate rematch. That way Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua can fight some motherfucking bum over there in the UK, and they can come back begging. The tables have turned now, and they ain't gonna like it. That's all I got.
All right, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Anthony in the 408. Anthony in the 408.
Yo, what's up, TBV? Deontay Wilder. I didn't realize he had an arm injury. That makes a lot of sense. Him not throwing that right hand as much in the early rounds. But I was going to ask y'all, if you had to choose between these two, who would you have next for AJ since Wilder and Fury already going to run it back? Would you have him fight Luis Ortiz to get that get back from who people say he's ducking? Or you think maybe he'll take on Big Baby Miller? That's my call. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
He'll probably go after Big Baby Miller. I would like him to take Luis Ortiz, though. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I agree totally, man. He probably go after Big Baby Miller, but I think I'd rather see Big Baby Miller than Ortiz, to be honest.
Big Baby Miller probably give us a motherfucking trilogy. Zach in Connecticut, talk to me.
Drive by. Yeah, I just wanted to say, man, the people complaining about how the draw was a robbery need to shut the hell up, because, this was a great fight, and it's taken away from how good of a fight this was and how it's bringing back the heavyweight division with all these people bitching about it all the time. Because with the 2 knockdowns, Wilder needs 3 out of the 10 rounds. And if you're saying Tyson won the rounds 1 through 6 100%, it's crazy. So people need to stop complaining. That's all.
Thanks for calling in, Zach. We're going to Jay Grizzle on Skype. Talk to me.
Yo, Nestle, you hear me?
Drive by. Of course.
Okay. Can you just quickly play that "Why You Lying" soundbite for me?
After we know why you want to play, what do you think? I'm gonna set myself up?
Wilder saying he had surgery and he didn't even know when he had surgery. You have the man asking him questions like, "Where is it? Mid-September?" He's like, "Yeah, something like that." It sounded like Mike Tyson when it's come out with saying, "I broke my back. It's spinal." You didn't see that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's lying, man. He's lying. His coach had to say when he had this.
Yo, you could check my videos and you'll see the medical tape.
You can buy that tape from the shop.
You can see it.
I've got that tape myself.
Or you can just ask me.
So let me ask you. So wait a minute. Let me ask you. So you think that Wilder? Hold on a minute. Let's get this straight. You think Wilder put on surgical medical tape way back in October 1st, and it was captured on All Access just to have a preordained excuse? That's what you want us to believe?
No. Most sports people have the recovery tape, and now he's coming out with the excuse saying how he's injured, how it was an injury.
Okay, hey, you got it, baby.
Thanks for calling in. That sounded a bit weird. The fact how he didn't even know when he had surgery.
Here you go. So you can't say
surgery for the biggest fight of your life and not remember the time when you had surgery.
Well, he told you in the middle of September. I don't know why you guys making things up. He did say in the middle of September.
Was it around? He said, "Let me get this straight." So it was around like mid-September. He was like, "Yeah, something like that." No, none of Wilder's team said when they had surgery.
So you supposed to know the exact date? You supposed to know the exact date? It's supposed to be fresh in your mind when you just.
If you're having a big
hold on a minute.
it's
supposed to be.
It's
supposed to be fresh in your mind. It's supposed to be fresh in your mind when what should be fresh in your mind is a giant pay-per-view that you just had, a super fight that you just had, and the fact that you're trying to run it back. Abdul in Philly, talk to me.
Yo.
Abdul Philly, talk to me. Going once. Yes, talk to me. Talk to me.
Yo.
Oh, you playing games.
What's up, brother?
Let that call flow, Abdul. Clock is ticking.
Hello?
Oh, man. Abdul, just talk. We hear you. Yes, we hear you.
Oh, all right, yeah. My name ain't Abdul. My name OGQ Nasty. My phone might be in some other shit. But all I want to say is Wilder and Fury has made big fans of me this weekend. They did great. I swear to God they did, man. And I scored it a draw. If we're going to give Fury the time to get up, it was a draw to me. But they did great. I'm fans of both of them. That's all I got.
All right. Sorry about that calling you Abdul. I don't have no clue why they have that there. Sorry there, buddy. You know what I mean? We all love you here. Listen, we got to go. It is a, spontaneous show. I'm sorry that we can't get to everybody. And, yeah. Whoa. Mike, what you think about what you heard?
I was excited. I mean, everything that I pretty much figured and said earlier today about him wanting the free rematch and not really worried about AJ is pretty much what he said. So,
yeah, I'm excited, bro. Like I was scared though. I wanted to get my call off. I put myself in the queue. Really, I just wanted to get this off. Like I wanted to be able to ask him, like, yo, did you see Good Morning Britain? Did you hear that he feels he won and that the world knows that he won and that he wants to fight with AJ to bring, make Britain history? So, like, I don't know. Did they reach out to Fury before this press conference? That's what I wanted. That's why I thought it was held late at 5 o'clock. I thought they were going to have a deal set in stone. We seen Eddie flying to L.A. We know Finkel's in L.A. We know AJ's in L.A. And all these players in L.A. Why we can't have a motherfucking deal, player?
Yeah. Totally. I totally agree with that. But, I mean, yeah. It seems like they ain't really pushing it that much. They letting social media pretty much do all the work and let the people talk about it. And then once it starts down, maybe next week or the week after, they'll probably announce, hey, Wilder Fury 2 for March or April.
Just remember that Fury was on his own little press conference the day after Sunday saying, oh, Wilder probably will run from this rematch. And here Wilder is already making a press conference saying, I want the rematch. Let's see who's going to fucking run. Let's see if we're going to get this fight or is he going to go try to make a super fight with AJ? Let's see. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Yo, there's quotes in the media already of him saying there's no way AJ wants that fight. I got hit by that right hand. I know what it is to be hit by that right hand. You think he wants some more of that right hand?
There's only one Deontay Wilder.
Somebody fucking tell me. Let him stand up. He stood up like The Undertaker. Tell him stand the fuck up again and sign this contract. Let's get this immediate rematch. Let's do it. Wilder said March. Okay? They will push for that if he really wants it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And how the fuck no one asked him where he wants it? Does he want it here? Does he want it there? Like, come on, man. They be slacking with these questions.
These guys slacking, man. I was going to ask him about the mask, about the little viral video, all that kind of shit. But it is what it is. You can follow me on IG at Gross1911 or on Twitter at Gross2312.
And that's IG at 1911. What was it again?
It don't even matter, bro. Don't even matter.
All right. Yo, fighter IQ.
Hit them Wilder or not?
He busy right now. So let's go ahead and close it out.
I'm your host, Nestigas. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. We'll probably be back with another one. Maybe, never know. Subscribe to the show. You already know we reached 91K last night. We're coming down for that 100,000. You the man, we the man. Hit that thumbs up. Future, present, past helps with the visibility of the show. Don't forget to head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/affiliate sponsors. Click on that Amazon link. Bookmark it, share it, save it, use it, because every time you use it, it costs you absolutely nothing. We get a little kickback. That means that we get to go all around doing our live show at every single fight, the way we did it in LA. And we linked up with some of the very same listeners that call into the show, like Info Joe, like Santiago, like JP from Long Beach, So you can be part of that. Join the fun. BoxingVoice.com. You already know. Click that, support us on Patreon, which you can also find at patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice.
Big shout out to Fern Gully.
Fern Gully, stand up. We out of here. Arrivederci. Peace.